The first trick is to get everybody's attention. Oh, wait a minute, I'm the civilian in the group. The plan for today, assemble the parts that we've got there to make the biggest possible impact.
You're about that much right now.
We'll just blow it up, take it apart again.
There's probably gray-headed screws and we can't find them.
Put the floor in enough so we can stand on it.
Inside diameter of the cart is 43.
The mast is ready to be slid into place. It'll travel without the greenhouses and without the chin bubbles.
Let's just try to bring it up and make it look like it did in Vietnam.
The 1968 exhibit is a major traveling exhibition on the year 1968 in American culture and politics. We chose this year the most turbulent and volatile, really, in 20th century American history, really in world history. The upheavals of the 1960s kind of all condensed and collapsed into that one year. This collision of shocking events, really.
Police arrested 5 persons as disorderly. 3 were grabbed when they rushed the parade float.
The year ends on a really kind of hopeful and quiet note in December. At Christmas time, Apollo 8 is launched. That left this people feeling a little bit more hopeful about the future. It all kind of condensed and compressed into this single year, and we took it upon ourselves to see if we could do that in a 3-dimensional exhibit.
We will be able to drive up to the back of the helicopter and then set and nest the aft section in. We were challenged to start out the exhibit with a Huey helicopter. I took on the project and was assigned to find a Huey helicopter and make it portable so that it can travel with the exhibit. Most of the guys that have the really experience in the helicopter are Vietnam vets. They were pilots. There's 3 or 4 pilots. There's several of them were crew chiefs, and then just some other guys that had served. And so we've tapped into this really neat group of volunteers, and they are intensely familiar with this helicopter. They know it, every nut and bolt of what needs to be here. Okay, well, go to work. And we happened to find this Huey helicopter in Olympia, Washington. The airframe is damaged on it. None of the things that we have are airworthy. We're taking a non-flyable Huey and making it even more non-flyable.
What I'm attempting to do is fabricate a hinge for the left pilot door.
Okay, aft section coming at you.
We'll just add a little filler.
We're about 3 or 4 inches on this side off. Center point here versus center point there.
See right where this one would go right here? That one goes over there.
This is part of the intake for the engine.
We're just trying to clean it up.
We're putting the stenciling down for United States Army.
One less thing that we have to deal with.
Make sure everything's connected.
Okay, it'll be good enough for a Huey that's not going to fly.
Well, because the 1968 project is a national traveling exhibit, everything has to fit on trucks and through doors. And this helicopter has to fit through this opening. Now, a Huey helicopter is 13'6" tall, and it's about 8'6" wide. So one of our engineering challenges has been that we need to be able to make it in enough pieces so it'll fit through this door. Of course, the helicopter, Huey helicopter, is built in one piece. We've already decided where are the good places to cut it and to make joints that will go back together when it's reassembled in the museum.
And we're just putting the stuff all together to have it on here. These are compass correction cards. They're going to go on the instrument panel.
Well, this project started to attract the attention of a bunch of guys that had some airplane experience. And we had worked with a few of them before on a project, an airplane project for the History Center, Minnesota's Greatest Generation exhibit, a C-47.
And then they wanted us to work on this, and we put out the word, and we added more guys from the Vietnam era who know all about it. Pilots, mechanics, crew chiefs, and the rest of it. So, and it's a group that's bonded together and exchanged their stories in this way, and it's a great experience.
And this actually goes in over there. So when they started this project, I was pretty excited about it. And every Wednesday I come down to meet with the guys and to work on it. It's been really a kind of a love of working on the machine again, and bringing back my memory. They all ask me questions about this, so I have to try to recollect. And of course, I keep everything, so I have all my old manuals and such like that. And to be working with a bunch of guys that I've been working with is just tremendous.
Choosing a helicopter to represent in the exhibit, we chose to recreate a medevac, specifically because the story is about saving lives and not taking them. And so we wanted to represent that in the museum. And in fact, if you talk to all these guys, that's what their job was. Sure, they had to shoot, but at the same time, their job was to save lives.
South Vietnamese had American troops keep supply lines open while attacking a huge Viet Cong installation, providing cover for the assault wave.
It was a difficult part of life, obviously. I got married just 2 months before I was drafted, and my wife was 7.5 months pregnant when I left for Vietnam. And those were difficult issues. I'm certainly not unique to that. Many of us had that. I found the military difficult because I really didn't want to be there. And you know, I was just drafted into service, and it was characterized by just a lot of hard work. We didn't stand down at all as a helicopter company. We kept busy, and I know that what I did was important to someone else surviving and getting home. So that's what was my real motivation in Vietnam, is to keep guys alive, even though I didn't know who they were and they didn't know who I was. When it came time to go home, I wasn't going to hang around. I got out of there as fast as I could get out of there. I'm absolutely thrilled about this, traveling around the country and seeing this, because I think Vietnam War is misunderstood in many ways. And hopefully this will bring some understanding to that period of time. I want to concentrate more on the fact that most of us, and I associate and know a lot of Vietnam vets, all were successful in life. It doesn't mean that we were millionaires or anything, but we successfully raised families. In the memory of those who didn't make it, we owe it to them to be successful in life and work hard, you know. And it's just a very good way of honoring them. They didn't get to do what I've done. Didn't get to raise children, you know, have a good job. Do what I'm doing today as an old man.
"108 men were wounded, 79 of them seriously. Mass draft card burning was urged. They have been ordered to fan out on a wide perimeter to flush out rebel Viet Cong positions."
We're still today arguing about the meaning of the 1960s and the protests. We're still today arguing about why we were in Vietnam. It's not a closed subject, unlike World War II. These fractures, these fissures still run through American society. We saw it in the election of 2008, when you've got kind of the old and the new running against each other, and this sort of polarities and the polarization of American society that we feel today so strongly. Well, the roots of that really are in 1968.
Short guys in the front.
Old short guys in the front.
How about, I'll even get down. I can't get up. I can't get up.
It's not about the artifact, it's about the story. I know that this is going to be a big deal for a lot of people, that when, you know, Grandpa can go over and say, "I was here," you know, that's touching. And it's meaningful. I get that from these guys, that they know that what they're doing is caught up in what this represents. And there's going to be some very powerful stories that are going to come out just having this in an exhibition.
Waiting for the flash.
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.